the alumni.
It all started summer dreaming off of Mellon Street. Mama Lo was happy none of us was making melons leak. Could have been some trap stars packing up that gasoline. Team fresh, royal treatment at your.
So I'm born and raised in Georgia. My father's African American, my mother's white. It was when my mom taught me, got me into breakdancing is when I found my thing. And so everybody was playing sports. I was into breakdancing. I thought it was cool. And it was my sense of escape. So what a lot of people didn't know until about a few years ago after me sharing it with you, I was a victim of sexual abuse growing up. I was abused at 5 in elementary school. It was kids at school. So that happened between I was 5 and all the way actually through high school. And so at a young age, my sense of purity was gone. I didn't have any. But the arts and music and dancing and these things were ways I could get away from this stuff. I could read about, Goku, I could read about Superman, I could read about Batman, I could watch these cartoons and play video games, and it took my mind off what was happening. And so when I got into breakdancing, that was the thing. I was like, this is it. So I started dancing, and then I got into music, I got into singing. Music and dancing became something I was like, okay, there might be a career or something here. Everybody thought I was crazy because where I'm from, it's like military town. Me wanting to be a professional hip-hop dancer, nobody knew what that was. It's like, you gonna get on TV and break dance? I was like, yeah, like that's what I want to do. I went through a period in my life where a lot of things started to fall down, and just from domestic violence at home to a lot of the trauma and a lot of the abuse that happened to me when I was younger. So I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to cope with it. So the only thing I knew how to run to was music and run to dance. And I have a manager, I'm opening up for artists, I'm doing different things, I'm getting shows around the city, people kind of have an idea who I am, but like I was really still lost. And it all came crumbling down one day. I met my wife, we had Bible studies on phone. I had never had that before with anybody. And it went from that to one day she asked me, hey, I just feel like there's some things kind of going on. Do you want to talk about it? She was the first person that talked about me being abused and molested. And she ended up telling me, she said, hey, I was molested and I was abused as well. And like, I just remember tears coming down and just a sense of relief. I know if that sense of release came from me confessing, I wonder how many other people are dealing with this. I gave my life to Christ in 2012. And after converting and giving my life to the Christ and becoming a believer, I just was really adamant about this life change. Like, there's a bigger purpose than me. Understanding there's a larger purpose than me gave me the hope to pursue forward. And it also encouraged me, like, you know what? If God can bring me through it, He can bring anyone through it. And I want to be able to share my story with others to encourage them and use my gift to give them that hope. But after that, I was totally set out like, all right, I'm going to use music and I'm going to use dance to give back to my community. So that's where it started at. I was like, well, what do I do? So I just called people around, called everybody up, and I ended up getting some jobs at a local dance studio. And then I got plugged into the Boys and Girls Club community. And from there, I just started serving with my gift. I was like, I gave back. I started working with teenagers. I started working with kids. I started teaching them the stuff that I knew and letting them know, like, you don't have to be a victim. As long as you're breathing and as long as you're alive, there's hope. I had to tell myself that it's not all bad. There is a light. And then it also opened the conversation to where when people asked me why I was passionate about what I did, I would share my story about me being abused, and letting them know, like, hey, if I can overcome it, if God can get me through it, He can get you through it. And so that's where it started. It put a fire in me to like, all right, this is definitely what I want to do. It's not to be rich and famous anymore, and it's not to escape what I'm going through, but it's to give back and to help, because I know that if I had my favorite artists that inspired me when I was younger, what if I did the exact opposite? Use my gifts to plug into my local community, and in the event that I were to ever have a national platform, to inspire them to, make changes. So
my vertical skills as of last night, that's right, going up ways possibly. You ain't gotta sway in the morning just to rock with me. I be on my Autobot philosophy. You can say it's ludicrous to roll it out awkwardly, as I do it, goofy for the heel flip. Always kept the baby face, never with the heel flip. Shawn Michaels place it right up on they sweet chins. My money Frito-Lays even when it's weak then. I peeked in and saw the normacy of half-life. I was laying